Just the few of you that are on, this is Jeremy, and he is with Kaerwell, and he is a distributor located in Orlando, Florida. But he's going to go over fulfillment and how Kaerwell works step by step, who he is, what he does, and just overall better outsourcing for supplements for your patients. So I will pass it over to him, and this is being recorded, so I will send it out if you guys miss any parts of it. And if you have any questions, feel free to add yourself as a panelist or just type in a question in the box.
Perfect. How you guys doing? As Kara said, my name is Jeremy, and I'm with a company called Kaerwell. So in a second, I'm going to share my screen. I wanted to kind of share my face just so you guys can see I'm a real life person. And again, we hopefully will talk together one-on-one, but right now I kind of just want to give you guys like a high level overview of who Kaerwell is, what we do, and how can it benefit your practice, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And if you can, since I can hear you, Kara, can you just let me know? And I'll try to keep my camera up as long as I can. Problem is I've got about 1,000 tabs open, a little exaggeration, probably close to 100, but I've got a ton of tabs. So if my mouse gets a little crazy, I'll shut the camera down. If not, I'll let it roll. So can you see my screen, Kara?
Yes, you're good.
Perfect. So our website is simple. It's Kaerwell.com, right? So Kaerwell.com. And we're going through a little bit of a facelift right now because as a company, we've made some massive changes over the last 12 months. And one of the staples, which is what Kaerwell has always been known as, which was a dispensary, is no more. And the reason it's no more is because we've grown to this massive warehouse here in Orlando, and our practitioners that were on the dispensary side, like full script, whole script, they started getting smart and realizing that they can partner with the brands, buy the product, ship it here, and make more money. So at the end of the day, our dispensary kind of fizzled away. And right now, what we've been focusing on over the last several years has been our fulfillment model, which is what we're going to discuss today. So when you go to Kaerwell, you click on fulfillment. In the next couple of days here, you're going to see the site is going to be totally revamped. But for the sake of today, it'll allow us to go through and at least give you guys an overview of what we do. So we are designed as a company, as Kara said, we are a 3PL, which means we are a third-party logistics company, right? So we help you distribute your products to your end patients. Again, the key word there is your products. Because with Kaerwell, they're your products. You buy them, you ship them here, we warehouse them for you in a completely FDA compliant facility that is not just climate controlled, but also humidity controlled. So your products are safe. And at the end of the day, whenever your patients purchase, we're going to pick an order, we're going to pack it, we're going to ship it to them. So the goal here is to help you scale your business, go as big as you can, and influence as many people as possible. That's the goal, our goal as a partner with you. Now, quite simply, the way that this works is we connect into your existing store. So normally when we get to this point, some of our practices say, I don't have a store. I have a website, but I don't have a store. So if you have a store, very simple. We do a connection as orders come in. We see those orders. Because we're warehousing your products, we can pick them, pack them, and ship them out anywhere in the world. Now, if you don't have a store, we can build one for you. We charge you a one-time fee of $500, which is a joke because it costs us probably closer to $1,000, if not $1,500 to build out a store. But again, it's our added value to you. We want to onboard you as quick as possible. And what we've found is the only thing that slows down onboarding is development, getting a store live with product ready to go to market for you to get your patients into the store buying your products. It's the most difficult thing. It could take 2 months, it could take 6 months, it could take a year. We've built hundreds of these stores and we can get them done in 2 days. In 2 days' time, 3 at the most, we have you up and running, selling your products directly to your patients. You make 100% of your profits. It's your store. We just build it. Again, 2 different models, one if you have a store, one if you don't. Now, if you don't have a store and you want to build one yourself, go right ahead. We'll just connect into it, similar to the first model. Once the store is completed and you're done building it, we just connect into it. It's a very simple integration that we do. And to that point, we build our stores on Shopify because they're the most out-of-the-box user-friendly. You can integrate it into a multitude of different platforms. And I'll give you guys some examples a little later on where we'll talk about what these stores look like and what can you do in them besides nutraceuticals. Can you do education? Can you do ebooks? Can you create lead magnets? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. So you have a huge sandbox to play in. But the point is you don't have to settle. So if you want to build on WooCommerce, or you want to build on Squarespace, or you want to build your store on Wix, we can connect to over 100 different platforms right out of the box with a simple integration, right? If you build a custom platform, we can allow you access to the admin side of our system so that you can go in and do the connection through what's called an API. We'll give you all the documentation. Your team will go ahead and connect it too. We have had customers ask about integrating their EMRs. Some have had success, some have not, because some of these EMRs are antiquated. They're very old. The technology just is not robust enough to support an API or webhooks. But if you're using an EMR that is a little bit more on the technical side, then it's very possible that it will be able to connect either through a webhook or through an API into our system. However, we have multiple practices that are using EMRs that still create stores because their store is an asset. When it comes to 10, 20, 30 years down the line and you're ready to exit, you want to exit with as many assets, as many irons in the fire as humanly possible. Having an EMR is an asset, but having a store is another asset. So that's why most of them end up down the store route anyways. Now, one of the major benefits that you have is you don't have to pick just one of these platforms. For example, let's say you have a Shopify. You have a store, it's great, it's running perfect, but then you decide you want to put your products on Amazon, or you decide you want to put your private label products on Etsy or Walmart. You can use any of these other channels at the same time. So we can run multiple integrations at the same time. Now, some people ask, well, how do you fulfill Amazon orders? Well, there's two sides to Amazon. There's Amazon FBA, which means it's fulfilled by Amazon. And then there's Amazon FBS, which is fulfilled by seller. If you're doing Amazon FBS, we are your distribution center, which means we would be fulfilling your Amazon orders. That's how we're able to fulfill Amazon. Again, you can run all of these in tandem, so you don't have to pick and choose, which is really good because some of our practices run multiple stores. They have multiple brands, and they're doing multiple stores for each of their brands. Again, it's yours, totally up to how you decide you want to configure and or run it. When you send us product and product lands, we are warehousing your product here in our facility in Orlando, Florida. Now, when that product comes in, there's a series of protocols that we go through. Part of the protocols is that we're looking at lot numbers and expiration dates. We want to make sure that, one, you're not distributing product that's expired, and two, whenever a brand does a recall, they normally recall by lot number. So we don't want to shut down the whole entire line. We only want to pull whatever lots are being affected. Those are the ones we want to jump in and to be able to kind of segregate and send those back while keeping the rest alive and running. So we're using both lot numbers and expiration dates. Now, another benefit of using the expiration date, we let you know when your products are 6 months away from expiration. So as we are distributing your products, we're sending out the products that expired the soonest first. So we're on first in, first out on expiration. Now, as you're nearing that expiration of 6 months, we're going to send you a notification. From that point, you're going to get a weekly alert until the time your product is expired. It's up to you to tell us what you want to do with your expired product. Do you want to discard it? Are you going to give it away to charity? Whatever you want to do with it, it's your product, right? Totally yours. You can send it back to your practice. We will do whatever you want us to do with that product. However, it is up to you if you want us to dispose it to put in a disposal order, because we cannot assume that you just want us to throw it out. We do the same with inventory as well, meaning whenever you send us inventory, we're going to take count of how many units you've sent, and we're going to let you know as those units are being depleted. That way, we have alerts that can be set up where there's 3 of them, where you get an alert when it starts to clear a certain level. So let's use 2, 4, and 6 as an example. You send us a case of any ortho product. They come in. We're going to look at that case. We're going to put it in, and we're going to say, once this gets to 6 bottles, send a notification to the practice and let them know that they only have 6 bottles left out of the original 12. When we get down to 4, it'll be the same thing. When we get down to 2, it'll be the same thing. So you get 3 chances to order product. And depending on the product, some of those products you're going to order when they get to 6 bottles, some you're going to order when they get to 4, and almost all you're going to order when they get to 2, because that's critical, right? We won't have any inventory. Now, to that point, if we don't have any inventory, whenever product comes in or orders come in, and there's multiple products on an order, we cannot ship until the order is here in its entirety. Now, you have the control to go in our system and divide the order. Let's say you are ordering product from Ortho that's coming here, but it's going to take 5 days to get here. You have an order that's just waiting for 1 item, maybe 2. Why hold up the whole order when you can divide it, send what's here, and then whenever the pieces that are coming come in, they'll ship the same day back out to the customer. So yes, you're sending out 2 packages, but you're delaying the product getting in the hands of the patients, right? If you wait for the products to land altogether. So we give you the option to be able to split and divide your orders if you truly need to. There's also refrigeration protocol. Again, you may not need to put your products in the refrigerator, right? We have a massive commercial refrigeration tank here where we can literally store pallets and pallets of product, but your product might not need to live in the refrigerator. However, let's say you're shipping to Arizona or to Texas in the middle of summer. You're probably going to want to use refrigeration protocol for those problematic customers that are complaining that the product is coming in boiling hot. Well, maybe the next time we ship there, you could put a notification in our system that says, please use refrigeration protocol, which will allow our team to use insulated packaging with an ice pack so that the product doesn't arrive scorching hot. So it doesn't have to be a refrigerated product in order for it to have refrigeration protocol when it comes to mailing. Okay, so you guys have that option with us. There's no additional cost. It will increase the weight, but we're talking ounces. Those things weigh a couple of ounces. They're not pounds. So it's not drastically, increasing the weight of the product. So it's generally not going to affect your cost on the shipping, unless we're putting 4 or 5 of them, a different story, okay? Now, custom packaging. This is actually really, really big. Customers will send us thank you cards, right? So different types of thank you cards. Here's one with a little QR code on the top. Here's another one with a QR code down at the bottom. The point of these is they go in every single order, right? Whenever we're picking and putting your orders in the box, these go inside that box. It's the first thing that they see when they open up the box. Thank you for your order. Super cheap. We add it in every single order. To this point, you can also send us, let's say you do an ortho detox, 7-day detox, and you create your own detox manual because you're private labeling and decide you want to create your own instead of sending out the ortho one. We have tons of practices that have done this. We can add that to your detox bundle so that they get everything together. You can also say to us at PAC, I only want these particular products to go together with this particular trifold. So if you have a trifold for marketing and you're marketing a weight loss program, we could throw it only in the products that are going out that are weight loss products. So you control that custom packaging side. You would just order those products. There's a great resource that I use called U Printing. Literally, it's the letter U. It's right here, uprinting.com. And this is actually a really great resource because with this, you can go in and order custom tape, custom boxes. I mean, there's really anything you can think of from a shipping perspective. There's custom boxes you can make on this. You can also come in here to boxes and packing tape. You can look at custom tape, which custom tape has been really big because it's super inexpensive, number one. And number two, Amazon is already doing it. They put their Amazon tape on every box that they ship. So you're following the giants and you're utilizing the same marketing tactics to be able to brand. Super inexpensive. Go with the poly tape, the gummed tape, water puts it on, water takes it off. So if it's rainy, good chance the tape is going to slide off. This tape's not going anywhere. And for $200, you get 36 rolls of tape. Again, I can't say a lifetime because I don't know your specific order volumes, but it's a very long time of tape, right? You'll have a couple of years worth of tape at 36 rolls. And if you're doing a significant amount of volume, you'll have a year worth of custom tape for $200. Again, you don't have to do any of those things. We will provide the packaging material. We'll use our boxes. We'll use our tape, our packaging materials. You don't have to worry about anything. But if you want to, you can send boxes and tape and all the other good stuff. Up to you. The label that goes on the packaging is totally discreet to Kaerwell. There's no mention of us. It's all you. The only thing that's ours is the address because the products are physically coming from here. So obviously the address has to match. That's it. Elsewise, it's your logo, your email, your phone number, has nothing to do with Kaerwell. Orders are going to go out the same day as long as they're in our system by 2 p.m. EST. So there is a process that the orders have to go through. Part of that process is, quality control. The other part of that process is processing, where we have to basically rate shop your orders. We're looking for carriers that are providing the absolute best rate. That does take a few minutes to do. It's not going to be super fast. And then we have to go pick your products in a 60,000 square foot facility so that we can get it out to your patients. That's why we require the order to be in our system by 2 p.m. EST in order for it to leave that same day. Now, that's a huge advantage because most of the 3PLs are 24 to 48 hours in processing before it ships. We're not. We ship the same exact day, just as we receive same day, if not next day. So whenever you're sending product in, there's no delay in the machine running. We are constantly running to make sure your products are coming in, being received so that they can go back out. Okay. If you're doing international orders, we handle all of your customs paperwork. And this, I cannot begin to express how incredibly important that is. So many of our clients stay away from international because of the fact that it is a rabbit hole. And it's not just deep vertically, but it's also deep horizontally as well, right? It's incredibly complex because some countries won't allow you to ship certain ingredients. Other countries won't allow you to ship a nutraceutical unless it is unless it's attached to a prescription. So you have to understand it's not based on a rule. It's literally based on the time. Like there's no list that you can ask them for. It's based on the time that they receive your products. They will either kick it back or they'll let it through. That's it. There's no middle ground. It's either it gets kicked back with a note that says XYZ is not allowed, or it goes through. Now, we handle all the paperwork, which means the harmonization codes, critically important. We actually recently had a customer who came on board with us because their previous company got them into a world of trouble with taxes and duties. Really, really big problem you don't want to be involved with because they will allow those packages to go through. They take note of everything. And then what happens is they come back and say, you didn't collect enough for taxes and duties. Here's the overage. And you've got to pay it. If you want to send any more product into that country, you have to pay it. So unfortunately, it is a pretty big deal, which is why we like handling the paperwork, because we make sure your products have the highest likelihood of making it through customs without any problems. We're using the right harmonization codes. We're not saying it's a pack of gum. We're saying that it's a nutraceutical, and we're making it extremely close to the product that it is. If it's CBD, it's a CBD. Whatever the product is, it's going to fall under the classification that it needs to. The other part of it is declared value. That's extremely important because if we're looking at declared value for insurance purposes, we want the value to be as high as possible. But when we're shipping internationally, we have to understand that there's going to be a tax and a duty associated to that order when it arrives based on that declared value. So you can't play the cat and mouse game and say the product is worth $100, just go with $100, because if the patient paid $20 for it, they're going to be pretty upset when they go to customs and they've got to pay the difference or they got to pay the taxes. So again, we handle the paperwork to make sure everything is above bar and it's all done properly according to customs. The different types of carriers that we use are all. We don't discriminate. And it's actually pretty awesome because I see these guys come in here every day that literally they walk through our doors asking for business, and they all kind of leave with their tails between their legs because they hear that no human in this building is picking one carrier over another. It is strictly based on pricing. If they can't give aggressive pricing, they're not going to get the deal. Simple. So it creates a frenzy of constantly one-upping the other. Right? So it's a huge advantage for you because as a 3PL, we do not make money on shipping. On every single invoice that you get, you're going to see two line items. You're going to see the carrier and what did the carrier charge Kaerwell, which is what we're charging you. And then you're going to see another line item, which is your per order fee, which is what we charge. And I'll cover that in 1 second. So again, we don't make money on shipping. We pass those savings on to you. And just to give you guys an idea, we do on average about anywhere between 50 and 60,000 packages in a month. And each of these carriers have their fair share of that because it's not just one size fits all. We have 30 different box sizes, and each of these carriers are aggressive with certain size packaging, right? Some of them 2 pounds or less, they're very aggressive. Some of them 2 pounds and higher, they're not so much so, right? So we have to go with wherever we're getting the lowest rate. Again, we're using a system to determine that, and we're passing that on to you guys, and you're able to see that. When it comes to reporting, you have full access. So you can see whatever, whenever you want. Again, you're going to be indoctrinated into our system. We will train you. There's a series of 3 training calls that you'll be on. The first one is going to be a training call, which is more of like a high level. This is the system. Here's how you use it. This is what you should be doing in this system every day. It'll be recorded. You'll be able to go through it as many times as you need. The second call is what we call a go live call, which happens when you're ready to go live. We simply flip the switch, we run some testing, we make sure everything is good so that when you go out and tell your patients you're ready, you're not laughed at. They're not like, hey, the store still has a password, or hey, this says that you're not shipping to my area. So we want to run a battle of tests to make sure that it is battle tested and ready to go the day that you want to go live. So we do a go live call to make sure that, one, we can answer any questions that are still lingering after you've had some time to train and play with the system, and then obviously making sure that the systems are connected properly. The third call happens approximately 30 days in. So approximately 30 days after you've been live, we're going to have a third call. On that call, we're going to look at use cases. What type of issues have come up? And how can we resolve them so that you can spend more time with patients and less time trying to figure out how to inspect a gadget and figure out how to solve a problem that's totally out of your league, right? You shouldn't even be solving. So we'll work through that and we'll provide you with a channel called River, where you will have completely everybody here in our facility, you will have at your fingertips through an app on your phone or through your desktop, where you can put in customer number 123, customer got the order, but it was broken. It was defective. It was the wrong item. They never got it. Whatever your problem is, you're going to have an immediate outlet so that you don't have to reach out to me. You're going to be able to reach out to the people who can actually do something about it. Because if you reach out to me, I may be on a call, or I'd have to run in the warehouse and go track someone down and have them work. By the time I do that, your problem would already be solved. So I'm going to provide you with a channel called River, which is going to help you guys out. Again, you'll have full access to everything. When it comes to, as I said earlier, where your products will be living, they'll be living in an FDA compliant facility. There's nobody in, nobody out unless they're authorized to be in the facility. Again, we are not just temperature controlled, we're also humidity controlled. Your products are never living on a floor or near a window or a door. Everything has a very specific location. We run a system here called min-max, which means your products live in 2 separate locations. We have a pickable location, which has the minimum amount of product. And then when you send us bulk, we keep max in a separate location so that we have a constant back and forth avoided, right? Where pickers got to go from one side of the warehouse all the way to the other side and then run all the way back. We try to avoid that as much as humanly possible by using what's called min-max. Now, when it comes to the cost, that's where it's really simple. It's $5 per order. That's it. There's no confusion. It's $5 per order. That covers up to and including 11 bottles. Any product, doesn't matter what it is, 11 bottles of anything for $5. Now, if it goes over 11, let's say you have a huge protocol and they're buying 3 months of product up front. Perfect. It's 25 cents for each additional item over 11. So if somebody buys 12 products, it would be $5.25. If they bought 13, it'd be $5.50. If they bought 14, it'd be $5.75, so on and so forth. It's 25 cents for each additional over 11. Now, as you see here, it does say the only additional cost you're going to pay is the shipping cost. You do not pay for receiving. You do not pay for warehousing. You do not pay for picking or packaging. The only thing you're paying for in addition to that $5 is whatever the carrier charges us for shipping. Now, there is a 20 order minimum, which is actually going to be raising here in the next few months. We're going to be raising this to a 40 order minimum because the average practice does at least 2 orders a day. And we service hundreds of practices that are doing more than 40 orders a month on average. Again, there are some that are just getting started, but there are some doing 3,000, 4,000 orders a month, which obviously take on 500, 600 to 700 of those small ones starting. Now, the way that our minimums work, it's $5 times however many you did not do. So let's break this down real quick. Let's say out of the 20, you only did 15 orders. Well, those 15 orders were already billed the $5 because they get billed on exit. And I'll kind of show you guys really quick what that looks like, the billing side of it. But again, they're billed on exit. So those 15, you've already been billed for. The 5 that are missing to hit the 20, we charge you 5 times 5 is $25. So for your products to live in a completely controlled environment, if you literally did 0 orders, it would cost you $100 for your products to live in a completely controlled environment, ready for us to pick and pack and ship whenever an order comes in, and it's costing you $100 if you did 0. If you did 10, it would cost you 50. If you did 15, as I said, it costs 25, so on and so forth. So what I want to do is I want to pause really quickly. I've got a ton of examples that I want to show you guys, as well as something I think would be helpful, which is a profitability calculator. I get a lot of people that ask about profitability. You know, why would I go from, full script and go buy the product directly from Ortho Molecular? More money. That's the number one reason everybody does it. You get an immediate 20% increase in pay, minimum. If you're giving away discounts, then you're getting a heck of a lot more in return because you're not losing the discount off the 30% that they pay you. So if you give a 10% discount for, instance, you're only making 20 now. You're not making 30, you're making 20%. Versus if you bought that product from Ortho for 50 and you give 10%, you're still making 40%. So again, I want to pause and let you guys ask any questions that you have, including yourself, Kara. And please, if I missed anything, please let me know so that I can bring it up.
No, this has been great. And thank you for mentioning the part about full script. That is true. It does take out of your bottom line. I saw that Melinda said that the chat wasn't working, but the Q&A is. So if either one of you have a question, you can type it into the Q&A.
Let me see. Yeah, please. If you guys have any questions, type them into the Q&A. Do you have any questions, Kara?
I don't.
Nope.
This has all been great.
Awesome. So what I'd like to do, with your permission, of course, again, if you guys aren't interested, I'll move on, but I'd like to show some examples of what these stores look like.
Yeah.
What other things can you add to them besides nutraceuticals? Because I think that's what kind of opens up people's minds to the possibility of, okay, wow, so that's how I sell more nutraceuticals, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I'll bring up a couple, again, some of these are doctors that we've been working with for a while, and some of them are doctors we've recently onboarded, and we've built out stores for, right? And you obviously know who this one is. So Again, what the purpose of these stores are to be product centric, where you can add your products, patients can come and click and buy, and you can be hands off, right? Everything is completely automated. In Dr. Tenpenny's store, she's got a multitude of things happening, like incredible amount of things happening here. Number one, yes, she has her supplements, right? So she has all her supplements that are from Ortho Molecular. These are all private labeled products. And again, the purpose of this is not just around private labeling. Yes, that is usually where most people go with it. But truth be told, I would say probably 70% of the accounts that we onboard initially start with the wholesale products. So they're buying directly off the shelf orthomolecular products, and we're distributing them for them. So we put them on a store, we password protect them so that they're compliant, which is one of the things that Ortho makes sure of, right? So again, with private label, none of those things matter because again, you're private labeling it so that you can name it whatever you want, price it at whatever you want, and Ortho doesn't care as long as you follow their rules and you don't mention them in your descriptions and things of that nature. So with this being a supplement store, you can click into the supplements and you can clearly see here that there's a couple different options to buy the product. You can either buy it as a one-time, which means I don't need it any more than this one time, or as a subscription, which it's green for a reason, right? We look at traffic lights, green means go, red means stop. So subliminally and also from a marketing point, we're utilizing psychology in a big way, and we're giving them more discount here than most stores are giving. But again, it's private label, so you can increase the price to be able to offset the discount, right? And you have the ability to offer a different frequency. So this is really, really big because traditionally, you go on a subscription and you say, I want this product every month. Well, this is a product I probably would use every month. But then we go to a nutraceutical that's a 90 capsule product. I start taking it 3 times a day. So naturally, monthly works for me. But when I go back to my doctor's 4 months later, my doctor says, hey, you're doing really good. Your A1C dropped. You don't have to be on this 3 times a day anymore. You can go to 1 time a day now as maintenance. I don't need it every month anymore. I need it every 3 months because it's a 90 capsule product. So the fact that you can offer the customer the ability to come in and change this themselves, they don't have to email, they don't have to call, they can log in, click on manage my subscription, change my frequency from monthly to 3 months. Done. Without any involvement of the practice, right? Huge, because that allows you to provide the patient with the convenience of doing it themselves, and the automation. And for you as a practice, it provides you with passive income because it's coming every month. And the beautiful thing about inventory management, when you know you have X amount of subscriptions that are coming due every month, it's easy to manage your inventory because you know exactly how much you need for your subscribers, right? So you need to have that in stock at all times. So it makes it really, really easy to manage your inventory when 40, 50, 60% of your orders are on complete automation and they're all on subscription, hands off the wheel, right? Tesla driving, you're doing your thing. Now, that's a product that's a nutraceutical. However, as I said before, she has a multitude of things that she's doing here. She's selling memberships in here. Sign up for $199 a year, get 10% off your order, plus you get to hop on a webinar with Dr. Tenpenny and her doctors. So there's added benefit to becoming a subscriber, a member of a program. Again, this is your store. You can add whatever you want. How about education, courses? Yeah, you can add those too, right? She has apparel in here. Like I said, she has everything. She has t-shirts, she has mugs, she has candles, she has bags. All of these items here are not being fulfilled by Kaerwell. Some of them are, but most of them are not. She's attaching apps and we're only fulfilling what we need to. Everything else is getting fulfilled wherever it's getting fulfilled from. But it's all built in the store that we built for them, right? When
And
you
this
go,
also, sorry to cut you
yeah,
off, and this includes things like skincare too, because I know both of you carry lines of, aesthetic. Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
products.
Just
Yeah,
products. Yes.
yeah.
So this includes that as well.
100%. And look, for us, a product, as long as it's, obviously not a sauna, a hot tub, or a mattress, a product is a product, right? This is a skincare line that we do all of their distribution, every ounce of it across the world. We ship. They're one of the biggest skincare companies in the world. Tons of plastic surgery companies use them. We ship all their product everywhere. If you're ordering from them, it's coming from here, right? So it doesn't have to be just a nutraceutical. It could be any product that you want delivered in the experience. You want your patients to buy a t-shirt, you want them to buy a hat, you want them to buy a nutraceutical, you want them to buy a foam roller. It's all coming in one box. It's not coming from 5 different places. It's central. It's all coming from one place. Patients love it. Less customer service headaches. Customer's not going to email and say, I ordered 5 things, I only got 1. What's going on here? Going to happen, right? If it's coming from multiple places, going to happen. So it prevents that. So really, really good point, Kara, is that it can be anything that supports your practice. Here's a really good thing here with Shopify particularly. There's an app. So Dr. Tenpenny was spending a fortune on Kajabi, which is the platform that they were using to keep all their courses and all that stuff. I showed them this app. It was $20 a month, opposed to the, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars a month that she was paying. This is $20 a month, unlimited courses, unlimited members, and unlimited communities. You can provide them with tests where they can run a quiz at the end of a chapter. You can do a lesson test and then give them a certificate for completing it. You can have leaderboards. The list goes on and on and on and on of all the benefits for $20 a month. It's a joke. But here's one of the biggest benefits here is that you're putting education first. Mark Hyman, right? Education first. They're in your store. They're literally in your ecosystem, consuming your education. In this particular video, she's talking about OptiVital Cleanse, which is one of her private label products. Well, check this out. Right below the video, they can buy the product. It's in the same atmosphere. We're in the store. So they can come here and click order now and boom, they're there. They're already in the store. Everything looks the same, feels the same because it is the same. They never left. So that is the power of having a robust engine that you may not need today. You may not use its full capacity today, but you can grow to this capacity where you can add testing. Here's another example, Dr. Mary Lauder. Perfect. Talk about testing. She has her tests here in our facility. Now, some of them, not all of them, because some of them are direct patient register, meaning the patient has to put in a request form, then the lab sends them the kit. Well, some of these, like the Dutch kits, the GI maps, the DNA kits from Smart DNA, those already live in our building because we're doing their distribution. So all it is simply moving the inventory. You say, hey, move 20 kits to my inventory. They allocate 20 kits to your inventory. We go and pick 20 kits from them and put it in yours. Same day, it's there, and you're ready for distribution. So again, everything comes in one box. Patients order supplements and a test kit, all comes together. The lab doesn't have to be involved unless they have to be involved. Unless it's a patient required registration, then unfortunately the lab has to be involved. Again, I wanted to showcase this one because in this particular store, there's more than just private label here. As a matter of fact, there's a multitude of brands that she's using here, right? Like she's cross-contaminating everywhere. She's got biogenetics, she's got biobotanicals, she's got Ortho Molecular, she's got products from everywhere. But wait a minute, if we notice something, Ortho Molecular is the only one that's not showing the price. It's intentional. This is what I talked about before when I said some brands like Ortho, when you sell their product because they're direct to practitioner only, they're physician only company, they cannot share the price with anyone out on the internet. Well, guess what? We know that. So when we build the store, we build it using this logic so that when a patient comes here, they do not see the price. However, if I click on the product, I can come and see the description, the supplement facts. I can see everything about this except the price. I cannot buy it unless I'm a patient or a registered customer. I can't buy it. So again, keeping in compliance, that is something that's required. And correct me if I'm wrong, from my last check, I believe that is still required, right, Kara?
Yes, yep, you're
Perfect.
correct.
Just for your branded products.
Yep, just for the Ortho branded products, private label, it's free range.
Exactly what you see here. All her private label products don't have that button, but these products do, right? And as we roll down the list, we'll see other brands here. Like for instance, here we have FSFI, that's pricing shown, bio pricing shown, because again, they're on Amazon, so they don't care. They're just like, you can buy our products anywhere. Why do we care if you put it on your store? Ortho's the only one, because again, they're considered, highly ethical. They're looking at certain aspects of the market that those other companies aren't, and they want it the way they want it. So we actually conform to that. So again, those things have to be there. We know that if we're building the store, we put it there. So again, you can add whatever you want to add. Here's another example, Dr. Alicia Newsom, same thing. She actually did something pretty cool. She took her ortho bottles and she didn't like the black caps. So she turned all the caps white. She turned all the caps white. And what was funny is I told her, I says, well, you might have to deal with a couple of customers that'll say, hey, I got my product. The cap is black. Sure enough, she got a couple of customers who emailed her and said, hey, did you send me generic? The cap is black. So you will get, obviously certain customers that will complain because it doesn't look exactly like the picture does, right? But again, it's her store. She can do whatever she wants. So she did what she wanted. She made the caps white because she didn't like the black. Here, she's doing something unique as well, where she has become an affiliate. This is a free service that is provided through an app in Shopify where you can become an affiliate just like you can with Amazon. You can allow other doctors, patients to go out there and promote your products, promote your services. You cannot pay an affiliate fee for a patient consult, but you can pay an affiliate fee for an affiliate bringing a new patient to the practice that's buying product, right? They're buying your supplements. They can be paid for that as an affiliate. So again, these are programs that you can put in place, which are easily adaptable by Shopify with an app. Super simple to connect. Bundles, this is actually another, again, advantage that you have is you can create whatever bundles you have. Some of you have been in practice for a long time and you've developed protocols, maybe using Chinese herbs, maybe using products from 4 different companies that you marry together and you're calling it your protocol for thyroid health, whatever. You can create a bundle just like you see here with a variety of different products. It looks uniform because it is, because it's all her products. They're all private labeled with intent. Now, at the end of the day, if you're using 4 different products from 4 different companies, it's not going to be uniform because it's not your design, right? But it doesn't stop you from being able to offer it as a bundle or a protocol. You can absolutely do it. Again, it's your store. So I wanted to show you guys these examples. There's one other thing I did want to show, which I'll kind of cover in a second, but I do want to open up to any questions. Did you see any come through on the chat?
No, I haven't.
No?
You're
All right,
good.
good. So questions are good. No questions. If so, please type them in the chat. There's one final piece that I want to show you guys. So actually 2. This is the back end system for Kaerwell. So when you come on board, you get onboarded with us. We're going to give you a login to this system where it looks confusing, but it really isn't. After you're going to be in the system for about 5 minutes a day. If you're in here any more than 10 minutes a day, there's a disconnect. Something's wrong. Something is not being connected. Something's not connected. So we'll fix that. We'll figure out what that is and fix it. But the point is that this is a system of checks and balances. We're going to automate it. Your job is to make sure we have inventory and that nothing requires your attention in here, which we will show you through training. The way that our billing works is we charge your card $200. We take that $200, we put it up in your available balance in here so that you can see it whenever you log in. Every time we ship an order, we're going to deduct from that balance. We'll deduct the $5 fee that we charge you plus whatever the shipping is, and you're going to see it as a line item that shows the $5 fee and the shipping cost, $4.17 or whatever the shipping is, it will show you there. So you'll get to see both fees as one, and of course, broken down as line items. But that fee, the total fee, will be deducted from your account balance. So that's how the billing aspect works. And again, excuse me, I don't want to get in the weeds too much with this because this will be covered in training multiple times to make sure that you guys are all comfortable with it. And it's recorded. You can add as many staff members as you want in here. So if you've got a large practice and you've got, multiple people that need to have access, no big deal. We can give anybody who needs access. I do want to cover this, and I can send this, and I would love to send this to you guys so you have it. Maybe what I could do is send it to you, Kara, and you can ship it out to everybody. So this is a profitability calculator, and it's very basic, but it works. So the way that this works is on the left, I'll go from left to right. On the left-hand side, you're going to list all your products. Now, obviously, you see a bunch of probiotics here. That's a little redundant. I can delete them. So you're just going to list all your products. What you're going to do is you're going to come in and go row by row. You're going to list your retail price. What are you selling it for? Quantity is always going to remain 1. And this is just to do the calculations here. So $29 is your product. Are you getting a discount from the supplier because of volume? And if you are, you put it here. If not, it remains 0. But if you're buying X amount of dollars of inventory and your supplier says, hey, you're going to get an additional bonus of X, you put that there. This is your wholesale cost, which is 50% generally of the retail price. Whatever the price is usually half. So it's calculating it here, showing you on a $29 product, half of it is $14.50. If you have a number here, say I put 10% here, it's going to calculate that 10% here. And it's going to use it as your total, okay? I'm just going to leave that at 0 because we don't have a discount. So it's going to show us our total, which is basically this number plus this number, which equals this number. This is your shipping collected from the customer at the time of checkout. So when your customer goes and checks out, they're going to click on whatever option they want to pick. Do they want ground? Do they want next day? Do they want 2-day? If they're willing to pay for it, why not? Let them pick it. So they're going to pick whatever poison they want. Most of the time, the shipping is going to be between $9 and $12. Depends on where it's going. But that's generally speaking what the shipping is going to be. The payment processing fee is generally 3%. So it'll automatically calculate 3% of whatever value you put in column B. It'll calculate that. Discount offered is if you're offering a discount store-wide or individual. Maybe you have specific patients that you're giving 10%, 15%. This calculator is going to help you identify whether you're giving too much or too little of a discount, and you could give more. And I'll break that down here in a second. But this is the column that you would put whatever discount you want to provide or you want to give. This will show you what that discount looks like. And then here, this is going to show you your subscribe and save discount, which calculates if you're giving them a subscription and you're giving them an extra 10% off to subscribe and save, then you would put that number there. And it'll calculate what that looks like. And then here's your $5 fee to Kaerwell. Here is your shipping cost. And here is your total profit. It is deducting the shipping from the fulfillment, from the discounts, and it's basically taking it all away from your $29 value, and it's showing you a 30% profit margin, which means you can offer a 15% subscribe and save, a 15% discount, which in totality is 30%, and still remain profitable at 25%. So this shows you whether or not you're profitable and whether or not you can afford to give more or less in a discount. The point being is that this is already incorporating the $5 fee that you're paying to Kaerwell. And on top of that, you're still profitable by 47%, 40%, 42%. Again, based on discounts being allowed, right? If I take away the subscribe and saves, obviously we're at 52%, 50%, 57%. Again, you'll be able to play with these and determine where you need to be in order for you to remain profitable. So again, I'd like to share this with you guys. Play with it. Let me know if you have any questions with it. If you want to test out multiple theories, there's here multiple order profitability calculator, which will show you if people are buying 5, 10, 15 at a time. There's a lot of practices that do like buy one bottle, buy three bottles, or buy six bottles. Obviously, you're getting a bigger discount when you buy six. So they kind of tier it. And the more you buy, the more you save. So this kind of helps you justify how much should I offer it for if they bought six bottles, right? So again, kind of gives you an idea to kind of play with it. Multiple units. I'm sorry, multiple units is the one you want to look at. Multiple orders is how many orders in a month. So if you have questions, you can feel free to ask me. I can make you a video and send it to you guys if you have questions, but it's pretty straightforward. Just fill in the columns and it kind of calculates everything based on the code here that Adrian put in to calculate. So it should do it for you guys. But this is a great tool, even if it's just the first tab, using just this page to kind of factor in how much should you be giving, because most of the time it's subjective. People ask me, what do most people do? 10%, 5%, 15%? Again, very subjective. Here, you can dial it in and figure out exactly what you can do and be comfortable with the number at the end of the day, whatever that is. So do you think you guys would use this? Do you think this would be valuable for you guys to have, Kara?
I'm gonna unmute myself. Wendy just said, can you please show us the Shopify platform and where the education is created?
So the education is created in the back end, which is here. Inside of apps, you have the app called Tavello Courses. Inside of Tavello Courses is where you're developing your courses. So for instance, if we come in here, these are all the courses that they've built out, right? So these are all the courses. They just bring all the content from Kajabi into here, and they're creating their course cards, just like I showed you on the previous screen, that the patients will see, right? Which is here. This is how the patients will see it. So they'll see a video, and then any supporting documentation you want to put below the video. You can put text like they did here, the product description with the product. On the left-hand side is basically where you'll have your lessons and modules. So the more lessons, the more modules, it'll all be on the left-hand side. For this particular course, she only has 2 videos, which are the first 2 in 2 parts, and then everything else are PDFs. So these are all supporting documents that she's giving to them, which is why they're kind of just nestled in on the bottom. But yes, this is pretty much the way that it would look on the front end, and on the back end, this is where you would go to kind of manipulate and create the course. So like this would be the back end where you would see, like I said earlier, if you have your modules, you would put them all out here. You would add your lessons, you would add your module, lesson, module, so on and so forth, until you build the structure the way you want. That answer your question, Melinda? Was it Melinda or Wendy that asked that? I think it was
Wendy.
Wendy, yeah. Okay, yes.
Said
Thanks.
yes.
You're welcome. And again, it's $20 a month. $20 a month. So it's pretty incredible. Like, again, I'll show you guys here.
And just another example too, with this, the Shopify built in. I had another provider that Jeremy works with that spent $10,000 on a website that ended up never being built. So this is definitely a steal instead of doing it yourself.
Isn't that crazy? I was actually talking the other day. So it's actually really crazy because they're still waiting to this day. Still waiting. And they've been live for a year with us and they're still so you never know. Like that's the difficult part, is that you really truly don't know who you can go to and get good work done. And at the end of the day, you kind of trust them, and then they want half the money up front, and then you don't even know if they're going to do the work for that half. So it's really difficult. It's a tough pill to swallow at the end of the day. I get it. So that particular store already had the app, but I think this one does too. Yeah, this one already has it as well. So it's a $20 a month app. $20 a month, and you get access to this where you can go in and create your courses and have unlimited capabilities, like unlimited courses, unlimited students or members. So yeah, that's the app we use, called Tavello. Any other questions?
If you guys have other questions, feel free to reach out to me or Jeremy about them, and then I will get you the recording from tonight as well.
For sure. And Wendy, I'm not sure if you saw it in the chat box. I put in my calendar link, so feel free to schedule a call anytime. I think I sent that to everybody. I did. So feel free to schedule a call on my calendar anytime. And Kara, please, if after when you're sharing the video, if anybody does want to schedule a call, just send them my calendar link. That way they have it.
Absolutely.
Or you can always schedule it as well because you have my calendar.
I'll send it to you too, Dr. Wupter.
You got it. No problem. Thank you, Andy. So yeah, please guys, if you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. I am on back-to-back calls most days, but in between my calls, I'm always free. As Kara knows, I'm pretty responsive. I usually try to get back, unless I'm on vacation or something. I usually try to get back relatively quick.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes it's harder than others. And then again, I also want to apologize to you, Kara, because I know like sometimes I text you and I'm super short. And it's only because I'm on a call and I literally see you. So I'm just like trying to like answer your question. So if you ever read my message like a 3-liner or 3 words, you're like, okay, that's why. It's because I'm on a call.
You're good.
Thank you. Awesome.
But thank you everyone. And I appreciate your time tonight, Jeremy, Wendy, and Dr. Wupter.
You got it. And again, looking forward to working with all of you guys. And Kara, thank you so much for putting this together.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Have a good night, everyone.
Bye, guys.